Hi guys, welcome back to Sells Like Hotcakes. In this video, we're going to talk about finding a perfect supplier. Get your coffee ready because this one is pretty long, but you're going to love the effort and detail I put to show you everything. I'm going to share with you some advanced tips and hacks on how to find a supplier, what you should be aware of, what certificates to check, how to avoid scams. So listen closely, take some notes, and I hope you find this helpful. Let's get started. As you know, I'm always saying and highly recommending that you use your sourcing agent to help you find suppliers. But for the sake of teaching you, I would like to show you how you can do it yourself in case you don't want to work with a sourcing agent and want to find a supplier yourself. You would go to websites like Alibaba.com or Global Sources, and, like you saw in previous videos, I quickly show you how you can find suppliers here. Let me give you a few more advanced tricks and hacks on how you can find a great supplier. There are 3 ways to find suppliers here. Of course, you can just use the search, and I will show you that later. But also, I want you to pay attention to 2 other ways of finding a supplier. First of all, you can use Wholesale Market right here. Let's click it. For example, you're looking for a digital frame. This is a simple product, which is electronics, but it's not complex electronics. And it's a really popular product that sells really well. You can see here you can source a lot of digital frame wholesales, for example, 20 pieces, 10 pieces, 100 pieces. This usually means you don't put the logos, you don't put any customization or white labeling, you just order, for example, 1 piece, 10 pieces, and you start selling. This is a good idea for people who don't want to do any branding and who want to just start selling really quick and test the waters. You can source from wholesale without branding. Now I'm back at Alibaba homepage, and here again, you can see another way to find suppliers is using Buying Request Hub. This is a Buying Request Hub. What you can do here is either search for products and submit a buying request, or you could use purchasing agents who will help you find the suppliers, and they charge you something for it. Basically, this is a sourcing agent that will search Alibaba for you and help you find suppliers. Or you can just submit a quote here. You can click Submit Buying Quote. Here, you can put your keyword, for example, digital frame, amount that you're looking for example, I'm looking for 50 pieces to start. Here you can write text about your company. Remember, you can use the templates that I've provided you with before. You can introduce yourself to make sure that you look really big, like you're the managing director on behalf of XYZ Corporation based in Dallas, Texas. You are looking to expand the product line of the product. And you're looking, for example, for a digital frame to do this, and you're asking general questions like if they are a factory or a trading company, if you can visit the factory or do a factory inspection, and if they can provide the sample of the product. If they work with Amazon FBA program, and they know the labeling process. If they can provide assistance with shipping door-to-door from China to Amazon warehouses. And if they can provide white labeling services, product logo, and customizations. And then you just say you're planning to place a small test order of 50 units, but in the future you expand to maybe 1,000 or even 5,000 units per month. In this case, I would just write maybe 500 to 1,000 so it looks more realistic because your initial test is really small. This will make you look professional and you will receive a lot of quotes here if you submit your buying requests. The only problem is you will receive a lot of spam as well because you might receive a lot of unrelated quotes as well. You're looking for a digital frame, but you'll receive a lot of people who are not even reading your request, so you can easily ignore them. Again, you can try using purchasing agents who will help you narrow down the search. However, you'll have to pay the fee to use this kind of service. And remember, never give your real email to any supplier or you will be spammed to death for life with the Christmas congratulations and special offers you don't care about. Always create special company emails specifically for this. Now let's assume you're not going to use purchasing agents and sourcing agents and you're doing everything yourself. You go again to Alibaba and search for a digital frame. Let's see what we have here. It found almost 200,000 digital frames for us. How can we narrow down the search? First of all, we put trade assurance. we put Gold Supplier and Report Assessed Supplier checkboxes. It means that this is a quality supplier which is paying extra fees for Alibaba, and he has also got checked by Alibaba or third-party verification services. This is an initial anti-scam protection for you to give you an extra layer of protection. You see how our search is narrowed down from 14,000 instead of 200,000? Put minimal order here, for example, 50, so you will get less suppliers, but you will get more relevant results. Now here is a little bit more of an advanced trick. Let's see supplier's location. Now it's just looking for all countries. But we really want to look for China mainland. Let's click on it. Now let's open it out. Now you see all provinces of China, and since we are doing electronics, it's very important that you order electronics from the province that is doing most electronics. In our case, it's Guangdong, which is a province in the south of China, or Shanghai. But let's see the map of the provinces. This is a map of all provinces of China. I hope you can see, guys. Basically, all the production of China is going on the east coast of China. On the southeast, this is the province of Guangdong, where you have most of the production for electronics. If you're looking for electronics, like in my case, this is where you're going to get your suppliers from. Because, for example, if you're going to produce your digital frame, and then you work with a supplier that is located somewhere right here on the north, where there are no factories of electronics, it means it's probably a trading company and is not even a real supplier. Because in China, it's very good for factories to be accumulated in one place so they can easily get parts and components very cheap for their production. That's why they like to stay together instead of being spread out for the whole big country. I hope this makes sense. Here on the left, you can see the kind of products you're producing. And then you can see on the map where the most factories are located, and you work with that province. Alibaba is giving you this tip. In my case, in Guangdong, you see most of the factories are located, so I will just check Guangdong and stay away from the smaller provinces that are not specialized in electronics. Now our search is narrowed down to 6,900. Now you can narrow down the search even more. If you look on the left, you can see the materials. For example, they can use metal, acrylic, or wood, the screen size, the color, so you can narrow down your search a lot by different filters. Now let's look closer to the suppliers and the prices right here. You see the first one is offering a pretty good price, and they are already 13 years in business, which is a huge time for the company to be in business. And it means they didn't scam anybody, otherwise they wouldn't be a gold supplier here. They provide trade assurance, which is great. They did a lot of transactions via Alibaba. They are in Guangdong, obviously, because we used the filters. This is pretty good. Let's just compare a few others. This one is just a LED display, probably not a frame. That's why it's not for me. This one is an outdoor LED display, digital screen. This is not what we need. This is a 7-inch digital photo frame, which is pretty good. But they're only a first-year gold supplier. That means they don't have enough history of transactions to be trusted. Now let's see. 47-inch panel. This is huge. Obviously, I'm looking for a smaller one. So let's narrow down the search again on the left. I put size 7-inch to avoid getting huge displays, which I don't need right now. Then I can put acrylic. Probably they are cheaper than metal. Now we have only 222 products, and that's much better to work with. I narrowed down my search from 200,000 to just 200, which is much easier for me to work with, and do my search for my digital frame supplier. Let's look down. This looks good for me. It's white and black, 7-inch digital photo frame. You see they have certifications, and they're 10 years in business, which is pretty good. I'll check this out. The only problem I see, they don't list the price, so I will have to ask for the price and research more. But the fact that they have this certificates, this is very good for me because I'm going to work in the United States and in Europe. So I require these kinds of certificates. And we'll talk about them a little bit later. Their top 3 markets are Western Europe, North America, and Eastern Europe. And this is very good because if you're working with a supplier who is mostly working with Asia, then they don't need to comply with your European certifications. so they don't care about your European or American rules. If you're selling in Europe and you don't have, for example, CE certification, you might have a lot of trouble while the supplier, if he's selling in Asia, he doesn't care about it and he doesn't have any problem at all. You need to see where the supplier is selling, and it is very important that he's selling in the markets where you plan to sell and not just in Asia. Now we can analyze the supplier a little bit more. What are you going to check again? First, you check the markets, then you're going to check the supplier's assessments. Here, you can check who did the verification of the supplier factory and check the company video that was verified and see other verifications that they passed. I opened their Alibaba profile, and I can see the supplier was inspected by TUV-SUD, which is a famous third-party verification agency. They say they have 20 sales staff. Now you can check under Report. You see this is not really a big factory, but they have from 50 to 100 people working. Here you can see the photo of the factory. So it's all been verified. Now let's see their contacts. You see they are located in Guangdong, which is where most factories who are doing electronic things are located. Let's check their website. Here's the factory's website. You can see it's a really good, professionally made website, and they are specializing in the digital screens and monitors, which is a great sign for me because if I was looking for a digital frame and I see their website is filled with toys or scooters or completely unrelated products, that would mean that they are not a factory, just a middleman or a trading company. So I don't want to deal with them. This is a real factory. You see, it's looking good. They are specializing in what I'm looking for, so they must have great experience in this field. Now I'm back to Alibaba and I scroll down. Here is more information about this photo frame so you can analyze it. Some professional photos, which is great, so they can provide me with high-resolution photos. I don't need to worry about this. You can analyze more here. Factory details, and let's get to certification. Especially if you are doing electronics or food products, you must make sure you meet all the required certifications. Let me quickly show you what these certifications mean. Here are the most important certificates to check. First of all, FDA approvals are needed if you are working with kitchenware, food, and pills and supplements. Everything that goes to your mouth or touches your lips must have some sort of FDA approval. ROH's certificate prohibits hazardous material in your product. It's very important certificate for European Union and USA. CE certificate is a general European certificate that shows that your product meets European Union standards. The last one is FCC certificate, which is required certificate for electronics and electrical products in the United States. It is very important to ask for these kinds of certificates from your factory. This factory has it. If the factory doesn't have them, it can mean two things. First of all, it could mean that they're working with only Asian markets so they don't care about these certificates. If they say, all other clients of our factory don't need them so you don't need them as well, don't listen to them. Because their clients can be selling in Asia, so they don't need them and it doesn't matter for you because you might need them. If you don't have these kinds of certificates and you're shipping to the United States or Europe, your stuff can be stopped by customs and you could be asked where is the certificate. You can get into trouble if you don't have it, not the factory. It's your obligation to make sure that you have them. Another reason, these certificates cost a lot, so if you have a new factory that is just maybe 1 year in business, they don't want to invest in these kind of certificates because they're just starting out and they don't have very much money. That's why I'm saying it's important to work with established factories who have already worked for a long time and they get inspected and they have this kind of certification in place so you are protected. Of course, you should request the full copies, not just small images like this. Get full copies of the certification so you have them in place in case somebody asks for them. What else is important for you to check to avoid any issues? If you are providing some sort of expensive and exclusive design, make sure you sign an NDA agreement with the factory for your designs. Second of all, if you are developing customization, not just white labeling, but doing full customization and requiring a lot of changes, then make sure that you sign an exclusivity agreement so that the factory cannot just start reselling your new customized product to other sellers so you have exclusivity in place. Then, if your product can be potentially harmful, for example, you're producing some sort of heater that can cause a fire in a house, make sure you get product liability insurance. This will protect you from the monetary claims and lawsuits in case, for example, your heater will burn down the house. No matter what kind of certificates you have, such things can happen. So it's good to have liability insurance if your product can cause any harm. Finally, it's very important to get shipping insurance for fragile products. For example, glass, so your product doesn't get smashed. And, in case it does, you'll get paid for it and you don't just lose your money because your product was smashed during transportation. These are things to be aware of, and I hope it's been very helpful for you. Once I'm happy with the supplier's choice, I would send them the message that we discussed with my supplier message template that I've been showing to you earlier. Here is the letter that I'm going to send. I just adjust my standard letter that I showed you before with my common questions. I just changed a couple of them. Hello, Sophia. I'm Sandra S. Carlson, contacting you on behalf of Digital Electronics based in Portugal, Europe. We are looking to expand our product line and your digital frame might fit our needs. I have the following questions. Please list the price for 50, 100, and 500 frames. Can I visit your factory? I have my agent in Guangzhou that can do the visit and the inspection, which is a city in Guangdong province. Basically, this question shows to them that I am serious and I'm not a newbie in the business. I already have my agent in China. My question is not just some sort of bluff. I can actually just hop on the bus or just drive and get to their factory, which is in the same province. Then I ask, can you send me a sample of your product and what are the costs? Have you worked with Amazon FBA program and you know the labeling process? Do you provide assistance with shipping door-to-door from China to Amazon warehouses? Do you provide white labeling services? Logo and product customization? Please send me the certificates that you have for this product. Those that we discussed before, I want to see them. We are looking to place a small test order of 50 units and expand in the future between 500 to 1,000 units per month. Regarding the first question, I guess you might be wondering, what if I don't even have an agent in Guangzhou? What should I do in this case? No worries. I didn't really plan to visit their factory because even though I really have an agent, and this is not some sort of lie, I have an agent there, but they have already been verified by third-party verification services, so I don't really need to waste time of my agent going there again, just to see that this is a real factory. If they are 10 years in business on Alibaba, it means they're for real, so we don't really need to waste our time with this. And I only ask this question for a simple reason, to show my credibility to the factory that I am not just some sort of newbie in this business, that I really have an agent in their locations so they can take me seriously. I don't care what they answer. They will probably say, yes, of course, please come. But this question helps them understand that they are dealing with a professional who is already buying from China, and it's not just my first product. This will help them understand that they are dealing with a professional so they can treat me seriously. I hope this makes sense. Then I just send it and see for their reply, and then I do the same for at least 3 to 5 other suppliers of the digital frame. And I will compare their quotes, their replies, and choose the one I will work with, test the samples, and later place the order. That's it, guys! I hope you found this special video helpful for you, and it will give you a lot of extra ideas on what you should pay attention to when you're doing the sourcing from China. I really hope to see you in the next videos of our course and to see you succeed with this white labeling business. I will post a quick update once I hear back from the factory.